I created Chucky and what Chucky looks like, but yeah, we've done that for 35 years. That little bastard has successfully been killing for 35 years.
Getting to work with Mark Hamill. I completely geeked out inside and tried to look completely professional on the outside. I don't know if I succeeded.
That's how I got into horror movies, because they had a movie called Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. So I have 4 older sisters, so they would watch it and I would watch it too, and it was my gate.
It's time for your mix of movers and shakers, of doers and makers. It's time for Funko Fun Chat.
Today's guests: Hocus Pocus, Chucky, and An American Tale. These are all the creations of our guest, David Kirschner. You know her as the voice of Spider-Man's Mary Jane Watson. It's Laura Bailey. This musician is the well-respected drummer from Anthrax, CHARLIE BENANTE. And now, let's mix it up with Funko Fun Chat.
I'm David Kirschner. Really, no one knows my name, but they do know my movies that I've been lucky enough to be involved in.
An American Tale, a Don Bluth film.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Hi, I'm Laura Bailey. I'm from, I guess, Los Angeles, California now. And they would know me because I'm a voice actress.
Open your mouth.
What?
Jimmy, open your mouth.
Hello, America. My name is Abigail Walker, but my friends and enemies call me Fetch.
My name is CHARLIE BENANTE. I play in a band called Anthrax, and we are from New York.
Oh man, well I kind of realized when I was in high school that I wanted to be an actor. And I kept asking my mom if I could go and audition for things, and she was like, no, you need to just finish school. And so when I was in college, I was doing a play, and a couple of the people that I was working with worked on Dragon Ball Z, and they asked if I would come and audition for that. And so I did, and I ended up getting the part of Kid Trunks on Dragon Ball Z, and that was kind of the start of my voice acting career, and I just stuck with it. Found out I loved it.
My favorite comic book artist for the past couple of years now has been Alex Ross. He's taken comic book art to the next level. When I was younger and I used to worship like Salvatore Dali and artists like that, comic book artists became those type of artists to me. Like, I need that on my wall to look at. He made those superheroes look like people, like in our life. And this is before the movies, you know. So Alex has actually done 5 covers for us and a couple of t-shirts and stuff. He's one of my favorites.
LA Times did an article on Shy Young Daydreamer brings his dreams to life. And Kathy Kennedy read it and called me and asked to meet with me. So she came over and I presented this new story called An American Tale to her. Kathy just said, can I use your phone? No cell phones back then. She called Stephen and said, you've got to see this kid's work like now. And she got off and said, Stephen would like you to come tomorrow, a half hour before, but he's inviting you to a 4th of July party at his house. I'd gone from never being invited to any kind of Hollywood party to Steven Spielberg, and over there is Sean Connery, and over there is Harrison Ford. And I walk in and Steven is sitting on a giant Looney Tune rug, wearing a baseball hat, as kind of 80s Spielberg always did. I sat and I presented An American Tale to Steven, and Steven gets down on the ground with me and is looking at everything, and he said, what excites me more than what I see before me is what you still have up there, and as you mature in this business, how that will come out. Let's make a movie. It has never been that easy since, and I've done about 54 projects now. When Steven says it, it happens.
I mean, the core 4, which would be the monster, Dracula, Wolfman. And do I say the creature from the Black Lagoon or do I go with the bride?
Sure.
That's 5.
Yeah.
I also throw in like Lon Chaney stuff.
Sure.
Because that's kind of classic too.
There's something so beautiful about getting to play Lois Lane while Travis, my husband, is playing Superman. I'm also extremely proud of Legend of Vox Machina. I feel like there's something so incredibly fulfilling about creating a character from your own soul and watching it come to life in a breadth of different ways, like watching Vex come to life in a comic book, in a novel, and in an animated series. It's so outside the realm of possibility for what I would have thought for my life, and I'm very proud of that.
Abbott and Costello. It was my intro to like horror movies. That's how I got into horror movies, because they had a movie called Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. So I have 4 older sisters, so they would watch it and I would watch it too, and it was my gateway.
Well, with Hocus Pocus, after Jeffrey passed on An American Tail and Stephen was going to make An American Tail, all of a sudden I had Spielberg pixie dust all over me. And Jeffrey called and said, we've got to do something together. I went in and I asked if I could go into the conference room just a half hour before, and I had 2 contemporary brooms hanging from on monofilament wire. I had a Electrolux vacuum cleaner that I had someone that knows how to do these things, because I don't, take the engine out of it, and I hung that from the ceiling, and I took the cord and kind of designed it like this as if it was flying through the air. At a giant plastic cauldron that I put dry ice in, and you know, what you do at any Halloween party. Liz, my wife, bought about 20 pounds of candy corn, and we had the kids in the neighborhood draw ghosts and goblins and a black cat and witches on a Ralph's bag. And then I tore the bottom of the bag and I made a serpentine design of candy corn where the executives, Jeffrey and David Hoberman, were gonna sit. And when they walked in, they smelled their childhood. The meeting concluded. I'm taking this dolly and going back and forth and bringing all these things back to my car. And all of a sudden I hear, David, David. And a woman who I don't know is running towards me. And she said, I'm Jeffrey's assistant. And Jeffrey doesn't want you to take it anywhere. He wants to buy Hocus Pocus. And wow, it was so exciting. But it would take almost 9 years for that to see the screen. Finally, Bette Midler saying yes to it, and then Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy fell into place, and the great director Kenny Ortega came in and did a phenomenal job directing it.
Okay, so nowadays nobody wants to just learn the craft; they just want to show you the acrobatics that they do. They're missing something. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, when you're in the studio and let's say you're playing to that click and you're all over the place. Your chops are great, right, but you can't be steady.
Keep it.
That's the hardest part about drumming. Yeah. Because that's why, you know, the thing about using a drum machine won't fill.
Right.
But a drummer, he'll have to fill somewhere, you know what I mean? So.
Getting to work with Mark Hamill. Oh. Yeah. Like, I had Star Wars posters in my room all growing up, and I completely geeked out inside and tried to look completely professional on the outside. I don't know if I succeeded, but.
Well, what happened with Chucky was Liz, my wife, and I had been in London, and I bought a book called The Victorian Dollhouse Murders. And I had a deal at Disney at that time, and I wanted to do something with the doll that came to life. There actually was a script that went out about 6 months ago called Blood Buddy, but everybody passed on it. I said, well, I just want to know what this guy did with it. And this guy was Don Mancini, who's gone on to write all of the Chuckies and direct an awful lot of them. I bought the rights to his script. I rewrote 18 pages. I didn't go out with the script that everybody had seen, changed the name to Child's Play. I did my drawings of Chucky, and I went out, and every studio that I went to, all 5 of them, wanted it. And there was a bidding war. But, you know, Don really kind of created the world. I created Chucky and what Chucky looks like. But yeah, we've done that for 35 years. That little bastard has successfully been killing for 35 years, so we're proud to say.
Now that's a fun chat, but there's more. We have full interviews of each of these guests on our YouTube channel.